Hey, hello everyone. French Wine Addict, welcome to the show. Welcome, Nick. I'm really glad to have you
Hello,
on board.
everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you for having me, man.
yeah, I'm really glad.
Appreciate it.
We've been discussing on organizing
Yeah,
this stream for
date for at least a couple months.
a couple of months, but yeah, we all have our stuff. I went
Yeah,
to on holidays, and you are pretty busy with the work and so
yeah.
on. And it's finally, now we have this trip together. We will be talking about lots of stuff,
Yeah,
music, 90s, tech talk. So
yeah.
I'm really glad that you find some time to appear on my small channel, my small VC channel.
Oh, dude, I almost prefer, like small, like
Yeah,
when there's like 100 people, like I, it's kind of weird. Streaming is the way that like you wouldn't talk this way if there were like 100 people sitting in front of you, but they're kind of are. And that's
no,
just
I don't have
kind
a
of,
hundred people sitting in front in front of me.
yeah, I know some of the bigger ones, or even like, there he is.
Stunny is here. Hi,
Yeah.
Stunny. We have two people from Germany, Ingo, hello, und Thorsten.
Oh,
Um,
Thor.
Yeah, really cool. Just remind you guys, I started the German speaking channel. Yeah, ich spreche Deutsch. I speak German, so that's Klangwellen im Orbit. If you want to check out.
Ruthanne.
Yeah, Ruthanne is here.
She's a sweetheart.
Yeah,
Love
she
her.
is. Yeah. She always attends Stunny's live stream on Friday.
Well, isn't she his surrogate mother or some kind of weird thing?
I heard that story. I heard that
Yeah.
story. I heard that
Yeah.
story too. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about it enough to make it true, huh?
Yeah, this is Brian from Tokyo.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I know Brian. Yeah.
Great guy. He
Awesome.
lately organized a vinyl Tokyo tag.
Yeah.
It was a really fun thing to do. It's very international. We have Big Star, my friend Fred, the Big Star from Australia. Really good to see you. Salut, Fred.
Okay. I recognize I put it together. I was like, how do I know Big Star? The band Big Star.
Yeah, he's been doing his video for nearly 14 or 15 years, a very long time.
Oh
Very good
wow.
contributor to the vinyl community, and so yeah, Francis. This is a guy from France, from the place where I come from. So yeah, so welcome everyone. So yeah, we will be talking about. I don't, Nick. You can maybe introduce yourself. Um, we will talking about maybe music from the 90s, because that's
Yeah.
you were part of that scene, obviously.
Yeah.
Uh, so, and maybe we can have a bit of a tech talk. I know you are a
Sure.
tech guy, so do you want to start with the tech talk, or with the what?
Whatever, man. I mean, I think most of the people here they know me. For
Yeah,
anyone that doesn't know me,
yeah,
as you can see, my
the,
name
the,
is Nick, and I've been a vinyl community person for more years than I was involved with it. The live streaming really started to happen, I want to say maybe 4 years or so ago, when no one had anything to do and the world was on lockdown. We met, think of how many awesome people you've met through live streams throughout the whole world that, are into the same stuff you are.
yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, and I had the pleasure to meet people in real life last summer, which was pretty surreal.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice. Who'd you
yeah.
meet?
Dom, Seeking a
Yeah,
Shred.
yeah.
He came over to Montreal. It was really good to see him. And Ben Rankins from Australia. Yeah, he did a
Nice.
very nice trip, Vancouver, New York, and Toronto, and we met him up with him in Toronto with Brian from Embryonic Robots. So this is the sweetest thing in the VC. All right, yeah, Ruthanne saying you're a great guy, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's the reason, I was like in the silent watcher of George stream, and Nick was always here support, and I always wanted to invite Nick because I think you have things to tell. You have a lot of
Well,
things to share.
yeah,
So
oh, Mick. Hey,
yeah, Nick.
man. It's good to see you.
Yeah.
Look at all this. This is good people, man.
So yeah,
Uh,
you were part of that '90s scene. Okay, let's dive into the
yeah,
record
let's
thing
go
because
for
we
it.
are vinyl collector. The first question I would have: I was born in '86 in
Okay.
France, and I don't remember what it was like being a record digger, going everywhere, playing with your band, uh, and going out for vinyl digging. What it was like back
Yeah,
then?
man, like in I remember in around 94, it was a big deal, at least in Boston. It was a big deal to have for your band to have a CD out, and it kind of puts you on another level in in the scene. So
Mhm.
we spent an outrageous amount of money to put out a CD. And that band played for about 8 years. The name of the band was Big Lick. It was like a ska and punk, reggae type thing. Sean, how are you, dude?
Hi, Sean. Good to see you.
Um, and So we had a CD out, and that and what once we were around long enough, and you get a good booking agent and a publicist. See, and I don't know how, I'm probably way out of touch now, but I know back then that, I mean, this is still the time like where you have to physically put together press kits and mail them, like
Yeah,
I'm sure you've seen press kits with old,
yeah.
records and stuff. Um, just and just having to send out hundreds and hundreds, if not over 1,000 of these things, throughout the, and then you base a tour on it depending on radio airplay, which was very hard to track at that time. And especially around, the late 90s when the internet really started to become, I can't remember exact years. Stunty probably remembers the years better than I do, but I know in 94 it was a big deal to have a CD, so we put out a CD, and it did work. It raised your status in the
Why
scene
was it a big
a
deal?
bit.
Is that like like now when you're a small band and you want your record to be pressed on vinyl and you have
I
to so many lead time or something? Was it
I
the same?
No, it was just it wasn't it it was just that no, like the only bands that were really doing that is bands that were signed to either major labels, and there were enough of them in Boston, or even indie labels. um and there were plenty of major label bands in Boston, but the indie ones, and if we put it out ourselves, so I mean it was just kind of new territory, putting out a CD, an album by yourself, because how the hell are you going to distribute this thing? So once we got a good distributor, a publicist, and a booking agent, things started to move along and get going. And then in 98 we put out our second CD, and by I think it was 98. Um and I think that just it took us to another level, where we started, we'd get calls to play with bands that were on tour. And in the 90s, that's when, like, I want to say it's probably the third wave. And this is what I know. Hey, John. What's up, dude? um the we would get calls for, like, when there was like a ska or punk band coming through town that no one knew how to fit the bill together. So we'd get a call to play with them, and that had us ending up playing with bands like no doubt is one of them. You know, before they, when Just a Girl was just getting some radio airtime. I mean, within a month or two of playing with them, they exploded.
Hmm.
But you know, they were doing well at the time anyway, and we played a bigger venue in Boston with them. And then like Sublime, when they came through, and that was like I want to say, like, Bradley was obviously, he was still in the band at that time, and when he died, maybe I want to say within 6 months of that, because that album that they put out with the, you know, with his tattoo on his back, that came out and, you know, just shot them to some love. It's so weird how one album at the right time can change the whole trajectory of like how your music career is gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. The same happened for bands in they came too late with the Britpop, you know.
Yeah.
Band came in '96 where Britpop was over. So okay, sorry guys, too late.
I know.
But it's interesting. Some of these bands had success in the eastern part of Europe. So,
Okay.
but yeah.
Like like bands like who? Do any
Uh,
bands that we would have known here?
no, I'm not sure. I have the name on the top of my head. I made some research and I don't have, don't
Yeah, it's all
remember.
right. It's all
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
But
And
you
I'm
know,
sure the radio station were still important back then to be this. Yeah. To,
that's so, you know, and I think music also, like, what, you know, and you can't talk about 90s rock without bringing up Nirvana, you know, and what
mm,
happened and what that one album did to the music scene. um and it it, it really was like you could feel that, you know, the tides were changing a bit, and the torch was kind of being passed to just something else, someone else, uh
I
and it was a great time.
I know lots of classic rock radio stations emerged in the early 1980s. So you
Yeah.
know, bands like the Eagles, for instance,
Oh yeah.
they constantly play those bands even though they disbanded.
Yeah.
So in people mind they were still there because
Yeah.
they had yeah. And I'm sure when Nirvana came along, maybe that changed maybe the deal maybe of would you say that at that time the classic radio the classic rock radio station changed their minds or other radio that played alternative rock had more exposure? What
Yeah.
is yeah.
Yeah, that's what kind of happened. Like the, you know, the the classic rock bands, you know, and the stations were still there, and I listened to them. You know, I grew up listening to them, but then this, you know, what, once you start, I think, uh playing music and wanting to take, you're not, and when you start playing music, there's just something in you that says, I want to take this further than just sitting in my bedroom. Well, you're not sure. It's like, how the hell am I supposed to do? But yeah, bands on the radio, the classic rock was definitely still there, but the alternative, and you know, that title is always kind of bugs me, because it's like, I guess it's an alternative, but at that time it was an alternative to the pop crap that was being, you know,
Yeah.
thrown in everyone's faces. And here comes, you know, some people that are creating music for the sake of music becoming popular, rather than going through some big machine, um, you know, and being made popular.
Hmm.
That that was interesting to see. But
Yeah.
yeah, certain
and we
radio stations
and I,
got
and
big.
I often discuss with Stunty, for instance, when Oasis came along. Just to we now Oasis had this big
Oh yeah,
exposure,
yeah,
and people are pro, people other are cons, and some say, hey, that's the end of the real rock scene or independent rock scene, and I think partly is because people always needed the heroes of their time.
yeah, yeah.
When you're
Yeah, totally.
when you're 15 years old in 1972, you have older brothers. They were into the Beatles, into the
Yeah,
Stones. You need
yeah.
heroes of your generation. So, if 1996, you see Oasis trying to copying or ripping off uh, the past. How can you how can you feel okay? Those are the heroes of my generation.
Um, it- I mean they they were more. Well, I think in the 70s and 80s, they rock stars seemed like this untouchable thing. Like
Yeah,
like they live a totally different life, and you can't touch them. And I think people were moved by not only people playing music for the sake of playing music, but and that means they were not looking for the success that they got. They would have been, I'm sure many of them would have been happy playing, nothing over a 4 or 5 thousand seat room um for the rest of their lives, and just make. I mean, I know bands that do that, and they're happy, being able to support a family, and pay monthly bills and shit.
Bill.
And
Yeah, yeah.
it's hard. It's very hard to balance that, though, unless you're at a certain level. Like, there's a certain level it felt like you had to break past. I mean, obviously, you need to break past to make enough money to be able to do something
Mhm.
like that, and take care of other people. But um, the 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 rock stars in the 90s, they didn't necessarily feel like the rock stars of the 70s and 80s, or even the 60s would seem like a different thing, though. um in that they were
Because the
they were
industry
more
because
accessible.
yeah, and because the industry wasn't that structure by then.
Right,
Artists
right.
had much more freedom. A producer came from jazz, and they say, okay, young people, they want to sing, okay, do it, no
Yeah,
problem. In the
yeah.
90s was probably a bit different. Correct me if I say some bullshit, but I think in
Oh
the
no.
90s, I think they were a rock star, as you say, they had to be like shaped, or they couldn't do their we were talking about bands that started on a small label, and then they secure a record deal with the
Yeah,
big. Things changed, so they don't have the same freedom as they used to have. So maybe the the taste of the music is not the same.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That was always kind of disappointing when you saw a band, like, and you could tell damn well that they're. I mean, everyone says, and there's a lot of truth to this, is the first album people put out, a band puts out, is they're usually their best, because they had their entire lives to write it up to that point.
hmm
And then you get on this, like, schedule of uh put
recording,
out an
touring,
album,
recording.
tour
Yeah,
for it,
yeah,
then
yeah,
write an album, record it, tour for it. So that when you start, when other people, when that other people start getting their hands in that pie, they, it starts getting smaller and smaller and more spread out. So the amount of, you know, it the amount of people that, in the 90s, it seemed more honest or something than than some of the metal stuff you that was around in the 80s. Even though I love, bands, like Motley Crue, or stuff like
yeah.
that were living these outrageous lifestyles. I still liked their music. They just weren't, they didn't seem like I wouldn't want to hang out with them, you know. And suddenly there's this whole huge group of tons of musicians and bands that are getting very popular that you could hang out with, and maybe you did, you know, and you just realize these are normal everyday idiots just
Yeah,
like
my 14 years old myself would love to hang out with them because oh, they have this
yeah,
crazy life with cars,
right.
with girls. And if I'm not an artist, I'm not a musician, by the way. But if I would, but if I was an artist, I would love to hang out with other people who could
Yeah,
teach me about stuffs, musical structure, and not saying these guys were bad, but different perspectives, I guess.
yeah, totally. And
Mm.
all these bands, they influenced each other, and it seemed like everyone knew each other, at least in the I think scenes like the Boston music scene, and I know it's like this in the New York City, and I'm sure it's like this in Chicago, where the music scene gets pretty incestuous in that this guy played with so and so and so and so and so and so, and then there's this guy in this band that played with these three people and these three people and these three people, and suddenly everyone knows each other and hangs out together, and and the person or the rock star of the month comes into the bar to hang out, and he they knew that it wasn't going to be, oh, it's so and so, you can go and find some normal friends and stuff like that. And I think people, I'd like, like people like Sean and Stunty and John, like they lived this too. And you know what did they have been the news a lot lately? Oh yeah, Jane's Addiction is another one. Huge influence on me also.
Really?
And oh yeah, I love them. Love Jane's Addiction. They they started in the 80s. They were an 80s early 90s group, but because their success came in the 90s, I mean the when Perry put Lollapalooza together, that was the Ritual de lo Habitual tour for them. And and like that was I saw the first, like, I don't even know how many Lollapaloozas there were, but I saw the first 5 or 6. And then you start seeing like these pop acts that you hear on pop channels being put on Lollapalooza, and you're like, no, this was not the vision in the beginning. I know that. They're like the first Lollapalooza. It was quite a lineup. It was like Jane's Addiction, 9 Inch Nails, Susie and the Banshees, Living Color.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of great, 90s bands. And that, like, bands like Jane's Addiction, they were another one that they did everything very independently, and then got picked up by Warner Brothers for Nothing Shocking. But I don't think they got to that next level until Ritual de la Habitual came out. But I mean, that album is just, it's a masterpiece to me. It's one of those albums that I will always love. Or any Jane's albums, I love them.
Jane's, yeah, yeah. I will be honest. I'm not familiar with their music. Jane's Addiction.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, are you like, what 90s bands are you into that you found that you liked?
Yeah, as I said lately, I had this discussion with Stunty, and he was mentioning the Too Pure label, and I
Yeah,
rediscovered Stereo Lab,
yeah.
Pram,
Yep.
which I happened to to hit the first album I happened to listen to this afternoon. The Breeders, with
Oh,
the Splash.
yeah. Last
But
Splash.
but I'm not
That
an
was a masterpiece
yeah,
album.
with that, which is pretty
Oh,
iconic to me. But
yeah,
then I'm
yeah,
not an
yeah.
expert. Not considering me an expert. I'm rediscovering this kind of, because was too young
Yeah,
by the
yeah,
time it
I
was released.
understand.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Um, someone like the Breeders' Last Splash album, man, that's one of those perfect albums from beginning to end. Like
yeah,
that, there, Ritual Dale Habitual's another one. I personally think Helmet's first album uh, and their second albums are masterpieces. Also, the first one, I'm sorry, the second one is Meantime, which the song In the Meantime was on, and that got a good amount of radio airplay. But they were another indie band on an indie label, which was Amphetamine Reptile, who also had Jesus Lizard, who's I know Stunty likes very much. And a band like Helmet, like there's not many bands that I've have their full, vinyl discography. Uh, and it can take 20 plus years to put that together. If you're getting originals of all this stuff
yeah.
and you're tracking it down, it
First
took
album
me
came out in '89, I think, or 90, 89 something.
Helmet.
Yeah, correct
Yeah,
me if I.
it was around there. It was around
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Their first album was called Strap It On.
Hmm.
Um, and that was on that Amphetamine Reptile had initially put them out. Then they got Amphetamine Reptile bands, and I'm not sure if Amphetamine Reptile the label or just certain bands uh, kept certain rights with that label, because I know Interscope got involved with a lot of those Amphetamine Reptile bands. Um, See, this is where Stunty would come in perfect.
Yeah, well,
Um,
hey, I will invite people right now. So
okay.
if you want to join, because I have lots of people tonight, I'm pretty surprised in a good way. So Stunny's here, everyone.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can fill in each other's blanks.
sure, sure, sure. Because I'm not an expert in any ways about. When it comes to indie rock, I do like the early '80s from the band from the UK, like Echo and the Bunnymen,
Oh, I love
Psychedelic
them.
Furs,
Yeah.
all that stuff. But it's not what we are
Yeah.
talking about here.
Oh, we can talk about anything that is. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, but
the '80s. Like the '80s Cure stuff.
yeah,
Even into the early '90s. That's another band that I love, the Cure. And they actually they to me, I think they had a couple perfect albums. One of them being Disintegration, which happened to be that
yeah.
seemed to be or Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me with had that song, what is it?
Kiss Me.
I don't know. It
Yeah,
had a hit
yeah.
song on it.
That's mid '80s. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do like their trilogy.
Yeah.
Pornography, 17 Seconds, and Faith.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Those are all amazing albums. Yeah.
yeah. But this is I know it's much more complex than that. But in the '80s, especially or not especially in the UK, there were bands. They had like Kraftwerk as a massive source
Yeah.
of inspiration, like Depeche Mode, OMD, and
Yeah.
this other band. They got inspired by from New Order, uh,
Yeah.
Joy
Yeah.
Division, Joy
Joy
Division. Yeah,
Division, New
Joy
Order.
Division.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, I I used to take with me on tours. I'm looking at one of them. Is those like hard shell cases that DJs used for
I remember. Yeah,
carrying records,
yeah,
and you could fit about a cube's worth and a cube, as you know, it fits about 50 to 60 records.
Yeah.
So you could, I would fill one of those up, while I was on tour, and I'd get, there was always another guy in another band you were touring with who was also a that was as deep into it as you were. And, you just had to find them who they were. And, you guys would be, you know, we'd have the city mapped out to where the record stores were. And it's
Yeah.
like playing and sound check became kind of secondary to tracking down records in certain areas, because you're going to see records by so and so in this area, versus this band in that other area. And then
Do you have any specific memories about a specific place or town or city, whatever, where you say, okay, that's the place. I'm sure I will find some great stuff like Berlin or London or talking about Europe.
throughout
I'm
the
talking.
entire world. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't tour. um I had strictly toured the US and Canada in the 90s, and it wasn't until the 2000s, like the late 2000s into probably up until 2013 or 14, that I was able to tour the world. And that was even more fun. Was I'd fill up those SKB things like pretty quickly, and I'd end up be sending myself records home in the mail, and
Okay. Yeah.
at least my postal carrier, my mailman, he knows like where to put the records at this point. He's it's very good with that. And whenever, like, I'm sure you probably dealt with this when you walk into the to the post office, no matter what I put down in front of them, they say media mail, because they're used to it. For everything I'm sending is media mail. And if
Yeah.
if they want to ship it media mail for $10 cheaper, take a little longer to get, that's fine with me. I want to know what kind of media fits in a box like that tall, and that
Yeah.
it's just it didn't make sense. But yeah, Europe, being able to find records that's where you'd find records like you didn't even know they really existed. And but even before the internet and Discogs, like especially before Discogs, and I'm sure there are plenty of other people here like John Bandy, I know Stunty, yeah, I'm sure there's other people here. We had these huge thick gold mine books, and they're still a magazine today. I don't think they put out, but they were basically these huge thick books of as many bands as they could think of, and all the pressings that
Yeah.
they had. So suddenly you're like, holy shit, I didn't even know this existed. How do I find it? And since Discogs, you know but Discogs, I think they've almost gotten too big for the britches, and they need to know what to do, because they could be doing better about, and I actually I say this not really knowing an answer to the question, is, but what can you do to stop scams, like, because there seems to be a good amount of them out there now. At least I've been doing it long enough that like what to look for in someone.
Yeah.
And Stunty has this piece, like this thing that everyone has to read and agree to, that he's dealing with like that. But there's telltale signs of scammers. But I don't know how, like, I'm so uncomputer savvy that I don't know how someone like steal somebody else's name and info, and I'm sure it's easy to some people, but how do you steal someone's everything and put it down? That they've been here for 10 years and they've got 100%. And what do you say? Just
Yeah.
I wonder if Robbie does he even stop by?
Yeah, but this is yeah, that's the challenge, yeah, when Yahoo were big, like we were like, hey, Yahoo is great because finds everything,
Yeah,
and then Google made it big because it's fine to have all this data, but how
totally.
about the relevant data stored it out, and that's another
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
yeah, and yeah, he asked me, we discussed prior, we were on the air with
Yeah,
Saxon,
we
yeah,
covered that one, Stunty.
we we covered that, yeah, Saxon, yeah, one of the one of the cool new wave of heavy British metal I still enjoy. Yeah, yeah.
Now, are you looking for records from that time period, or specifically from the British wave?
Not really, not really. It's nice. In November I fly to Den Bosch, so
Okay. I
yeah, I
mean,
will.
I don't think you can have a problem finding shit there,
Yeah,
but
but it's not on the top of my list. To be honest, this one, it was a part of a batch. A guy, French VC member, he's been selling a good proportion of his collection, and he said, hey, I have this copy, a decent condition. Do you want to have pay maybe $10 for that? So I took it back home, but it's not something I'm on the lookout for, like
yeah,
crazy, because I all these all these things, Iron Maiden and other stuff, early 80s, I had on CD or on
yeah.
Spotify, and yeah, I'm not crazy on the lookout for that, but it's still okay.
I don't think I've even ever heard that album. Um,
Yeah,
but another thing in the '90s was I just kind of assumed, and it was true for a lot of releases, that there was no vinyl counterpart to the CD. Um, and like running into a place that had the vinyl of a version of a CD, you didn't even know it existed. So of course you're gonna buy it, and records were obviously no one get like the '90s going into even up to like 2000, like 15, like the getting for records was just so good. And
yeah,
you would just come home with these stacks of records, like you're like, I don't care, I'll just go through this and give a bunch to someone, because they really were $1 each. And
yeah, yeah,
I mean, you don't know, I bought so many records for $1, $5 now, that according to Discogs, I mean, they go for outrageous amounts of money. And but then again, that says that one person was willing to pay that amount.
yeah.
So I
Or Mazzy doing a video about that, saying that's the one. Hi, Mazzy. Mazzy won't be show won't watching this one.
yeah,
You can
that's good.
Yeah,
But yeah, so finding
nothing
the
wrong with that. Yeah,
I'll text him right now and tell him to come jump up here with us.
he doesn't even know my channel. No, no
No,
worries.
you don't know him.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I discussed with him on Rachel a couple of times, but okay. Then Bosch. This is he made up with Mozzie. This is Frederick Spectrum Archives. He's from Belgium.
okay.
Yeah,
Cool, Frederick. Nice to
yeah.
meet
We
you.
will be meeting up with several VC members. A lot of German, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many people from America will make the trip.
Yeah, I mean that's a when you're going, taking a plane ride, and it's not just going to a record show.
No,
It's like
no,
you're paying for a vacation, which is
yeah,
a record show. And I mean, talk about like just draining my bank account like that. That would be a great thing and a bad thing. um uh
yes. So, some people they don't buy records during the rest of the years. They only they focus. Okay, they spend their entire budget. They go like twice a year because it's well, it's the biggest event. But in April,
yeah.
you can also go there in April, and some people, Stunty told me about that. Some people they focus best to buy records only than Bosch, so
I
they
mean,
combine in a way.
yeah, that would that would be cool. And then I mean, because realistically, are you like, and I feel badly if I buy a record and haven't listened to it and it's been sitting for a week. I feel like
Hmm.
I'm not giving the attention it deserves. If you go to Den Bosch, and I'm sure get so many of them, it'll take you months to go to listen to them.
Oh yeah,
Um,
absolutely, yeah,
but
yeah.
besides that, I know like a lot of these streaming services, like, probably for licensing issues or whatever issues, a lot of these songs just go down and they're not available anymore. And it's like, I want to have a library full of music that I can go to and not worry about it not being there. Or even, I mean, what if like one of those streaming sites like Tidal or Qobuz, what if it just collapsed, and and you're into streaming so hard, and and all that your music is gone.
Yeah, yeah.
And you also got to think about, I there's not and I don't know this. I don't have a streamer, and my DAC is from like the like the 20 years ago, but it's still a good DAC. But the streaming thing, I wonder, like, if how obviously certain pressings of records sound better than others. So on Qobuz or Tidal, like, do you just get like this choice, or here is the song, and it's been like mastered for streaming?
Yeah.
I don't know. But when I listen to something like rips that Patrick has done versus streaming like a song, or it just there's something to it that, and it's that indescribable thing. And it's not the pops or the clicks, because pops and clicks on I mean,
A
they really
part,
shouldn't be there, but
yeah,
they're,
are part of the pleasure.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think, like, do these streaming people, if they heard a pop or a click, because I mean, that's just part of it, but a good record is clean and has very little of them. But I mean,
Hmm.
that's comes with the territory. But again, I'd rather own a library of all the music that I love, and
Hmm.
being able to get it and play it when I want, not have to wait or worry about, it the streaming service being available, or shutting down or whatever. I just, you get weird
Yeah,
things have happened lately in the world.
yeah, I know. And yeah, it brings to an interesting point. We were discussing what it was like digging record in the 90s. How about today? What is your perception when you're on the lookout for a physical media? Um,
You know, th- there's two record stores that I go to that are within like 15 minutes of my house. Um,
mhm.
and one of them is really well curated, but and the other one is more like he buys so many new records, but he obviously takes in collections. And I've seen him take in a collection, and he does not. The guy that owns, I think it's called Joe's Albums is what it's called, and he doesn't pay attention to the Discogs prices. Um, he mostly pays attention to and obviously once you've been doing it enough, if a record is rare. And Discogs is an absolutely fantastic uh thing to just for information on the pressings. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm thankful for it. But yeah, there's this other place near me. Digging there is really good, and he's that the dude that owns this place. Um, he he'll put records aside that I know he knows I've been looking for, and that that's always because I can't go in there and drop a grand every time I go record shopping.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Um, but he'll go for oftentimes the top discogs price, and that's just wrong. It's not how you should be doing it. You're scaring away customers. But versus the 90s were just, you didn't know how good you had it at the time, and you kind of assumed records had gone away, but you still bought them when you saw them. But the 90s, I bought so many CDs, just I didn't know the record was even available, and if it was available, what do I have to order it somewhere, and where do I order it from? And
Yeah.
that was just kind of difficult. But digging around me right now it's just it'll never be what, or I take that back. Maybe people, because even certain people that own record stores, they say that it's already starting to slow down a bit, and people that bought these put together these huge collections over lockdown are now just bored with it and selling off the gear and the records. So a lot of that pop stuff from past 10 years, but look how many they made, and it's just titles most people don't care about.
Yeah.
But it's very different. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And when I started the channel, I was like following the people who had the same taste as I.
Yeah.
And now I'm a little bit more okay. We don't have the same. We are not from the same generation, but now I'm like following people I can teach something from. I can discover new stuff
Oh
because
yeah.
I know about my taste. I don't need to see another dude showing the same records as I did.
Right.
Hey, with a stupid French accent. Hey, hi, brother. No, it's it's not. What's the point? What's the point? So
There, that is funny because Stunty, leave it to that motherfucker. He's he in the 90s. I just didn't pay attention to certain bands, and Pavement was one of them. And he and I were talking sometime, and we he's like, play this song from this album, and I played it, and I was like, how the fuck did I miss this?
yeah.
Like, they're a band that I'm catching up on now.
Um,
And if if I see their CD at Salvation, I'll buy it, of course, because
okay.
I don't just listen to records 95% of the time, but I'm not against CDs.
Yeah.
Some of them can sound really good.
Me neither. Me neither. I spend quite a lot of time driving. When I get to see my clients, driving like 6 8 hours, so I don't bring my turntable in my car.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And Stunty say, hey, there is this turntable, but the road has to be like perfect. But here in
Yeah,
Quebec, the
right.
roads
Yeah,
are not
there were
perfect.
cars with turntables in the
Yeah.
50s. and it was a disaster. So
No, it's
they had,
forget about that.
yeah,
So yeah, this is when when CDs remains pretty handy, or yeah, Spotify and Harris Pilton in the UK cities in the 90s, where yeah,
yeah, yeah, totally.
mm,
Yeah, yeah. Harris, I've watched a lot of his videos, but I've never met him. But Harris, thank you for the good videos, man.
yeah, there are so many great guys in the VC. There's so many new members who recently emerged.
Yeah, yeah, right. CDs in the '90s were between like 15 and even up to $30 in some places,
Yeah,
and you, now, especially when we know how much like like Michael Fremer, he put it well, but it's the truth. The CDs get made in the super clean room, and the records are like made in Freddy Krueger's basement. It's like just some
yeah,
awful place. And no, I mean, I'd love to work at a
yeah.
record pressing
I
plant.
mainly I mainly grew up with a CD. I started collecting in probably when I was 12 years old in 97,
Okay,
98. And at that time, yeah, we are talking about 25, probably $25. It has to be correct for inflation. So yeah, yeah, probably $30, probably,
yeah,
which was a huge amount when you have no
that's
money,
a lot. Yeah,
when
when
you are
you're a
30.
kid too. I mean, I graduated high school in '94.
Hmm.
Um, so I mean that obviously the '90s were, that I'm very, I loved it. It was a great time. So many great bands came out around that time, and it definitely felt like there was a you know the tides had changed, and
Yeah,
Nirvana definitely was part of that change. I mean, check this out. This is and I have the flyer for it still somewhere. There was this a an amusement park nearby where I live, and I saw that the Red Hot Chili Peppers were playing there, and this is like 92, early 90s. And the two openers were Jane no, I'm sorry. The two openers were Smashing Pumpkins and Pearl Jam.
wow.
And so but you didn't know that you were seeing like a historical show. And I just remember Smashing Pumpkins being loud and fuzzy, but that's what they are. And Pearl Jam, actually, I do remember them. And this is also when I was young. I was like, uh God, I want to say I was like maybe 16 or so when when I saw that, 15 or 16. So I hadn't really I wasn't drinking or doing anything else to not remember the shows. Um but
We got you. Yeah.
in the 90s, rise yeah, yeah. The I mean the prices when you look at like an inflation calculator from like the '70s, the prices, they seem to be pretty much correct. But I still like I've definitely slowed down on buying records. Like what is your buying? What are your buying habits as of late? Are you buying more, less? And how
Myself,
many records do you have?
probably a 900.
Okay.
Yeah, vinyl records 900. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I started again collecting, buying vinyl around 2018, 2019, something.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I used to have lots of CDs. Like I don't know how many, but yeah, since I rediscovered vinyl, yeah,
Yeah.
2019 went to a lot of different events like record shows in Germany, France. Back
Yeah.
in the days, I was still living in France, traveling in Switzerland, in the UK, like several times.
Yeah.
So yeah, I bought a lot. Not like not as much as Stunty,
No, he's an animal.
who buys oh, okay, hi Stunty.
Stunty, somebody come up and party with us. We're having a good time. This is
Stunty is has gone to bed.
Oh, is he? What
I
time is
think
it over there?
probably
Oh, yeah, it's about
probably 2 a.m.
yeah, it is about two
It's 2
o'clock.
a.m. In this part of the world, in his part of
Yeah.
the world, not in ours.
Um. Yeah. So when you meet, especially someone like Stunty, whose music, um, tastes are very similar to yours, but I, he is much more open to every genre. Where I have a feeling that at when I hear something at first, I don't. You got to learn not to just pass it off right away,
Yeah.
and and that's something I've definitely learned from him. Is just there's you, you just there's in records that I didn't like before. If I listen to them now, like what I was listening to today was a Missing Persons album, and I couldn't tell you any of the songs, but the 80s, I mean, I liked them, and they they seem to, at least that first album with the girl with the super colorful cover, because we built a we built a stereo, like a shop system, and the
Hmm.
only thing we didn't buy was the turntable. Everything else we built over time. And it's not some huge loud thing, but it sounds really good.
Okay.
um I think it might put out like 10 watts at most, but it doesn't even
Yeah,
not
it
even
doesn't
do
matter
that.
for a small
Yeah.
room. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you have even like 90 dB sensitive speakers, I mean, even 8 watts. I mean, think about it, that 1 watt is giving you that 90 dB of volume 1 meter away from your speaker. And I mean, 90 dB is loud, man. Or it,
Yeah.
it is for me. Um, what is Sean saying? Yeah, me too, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel the same way, dude. Yeah. Um.
Yeah. I face the same issue, and
Yeah. You have to. Unfortunately, you have to go to buy them at on online,
yeah,
or you find shops that you know are good and just call them and say, "Do you
or or
have this?" Or I'm looking.
or the vinyl community.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The VC has been
Yeah.
it, I mean, how awesome has your record collection become? Like, I know mine is way more awesome from meeting all these people, and the VCLT thing, just sending people records, or if I'm looking for a record in Europe, Stunty's the guy I ask, "Hey, can you find me this record?" And he
Yeah.
he comes up with them within a couple of days.
Yeah, it's the same. Ben Rankings, he recently did a video about his Australian punk favorite or personal selections, and yeah, it got me curious. So gave a fair hearing, and I texted another friend, local. I say, hey, can you
Yeah,
can you source me that record if you have a chance? And yeah, this is what
yeah,
a community is all about.
yeah, absolutely. Um, I mean the Just admit it. You were one of the 3 long. Hey, I'll wear that badge, Stunty, proudly. The 90s. It seemed like the last really, and I'm sure it was because, you know, obviously the stuff that you hear between the ages of like probably what I don't know 12 to 25, that's what really influences you and what you know learn to love.
Mhm.
um but yeah, the records, like, you can being involved with all these people. I mean, like, I can go here and ask that person for that person, that well, um
Hi, Dave.
like I've gotten some great records through John Bandy, who was in the chat, from Stunty, and Dom is a great middleman too. He takes the records and
Yeah,
sends them out, or Patrick. Um,
yeah.
uh,
It's nice to have a
oh,
contact
absolutely,
networking. This is what.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, is it like that in the sports? Like, what if we collected baseball cards? Is everyone like looking for the same cards, or is it like records where this person likes this, so if you find this, don't be even if it's worth some money, don't be a dick, send it to them, give it to them.
Yeah, I
um
would say some part of the VC they like to have the same card as the big one, and or find a better constantly being on the lookout for finding a better version of the same card they already have. Yeah,
Stunty, I wish I were uncomfortable with what you just said, but I'm not. That's such a thoughtful thing to say. Davy Boy's here. I missed him. Art Art is here. North Carolina vinyl
yeah,
picker. That's Art.
really
And
great guy. Yeah, I follow
yeah.
his channel as well. Yeah, great taste for prog rock. Hey, if you want to join, hop on. I will put the link. So if
Yeah,
anyone wants to,
Ruthanne,
yeah,
come up, Ruthanne. I haven't seen or talked to you in a while. If you
yeah,
haven't figured out, I pretty much abandoned what is it? Uh Instagram, but the only reason I ever signed up for Instagram was to talk to Stunt.
too late, too late.
Yeah, you're gonna have to finish this night, Stunty. You can't, or are you just edging for like a week? I think that'd become painful and throbbing. Or,
Yeah. So hey, how about the
oh,
tech?
Ruthanne, come on! I got home from work, threw food in my mouth, jumped in the shower, and jumped on here. God, you're
Yeah,
silly.
we'll
And
be here
Sean,
maybe.
I'd love to see any of these guys. Dave,
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
And I truly miss the people I could see at George Borden, stream.
Yeah. I mean, and
Yeah,
John, if you're still here, I'd love to see you if you can
yeah.
come up and hang out. John is a huge wealth of knowledge.
Hey,
Ah,
salut.
here he
Hello,
is.
you
Hello.
guys.
What's up?
You guys lubed me enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this is what
Now
we
we gotta finish the job, huh?
yeah. I made the noodles, so now I can have the actual.
Some sauce. Ah,
Stunty Stars is new cooking channel. Vinyl is too much of a niche. So cooking channel,
yeah,
that's the
yeah. That's
way.
much more
Yeah,
widespread
yeah.
I
cooking.
grew my own chili, and tonight was the first time I picked them up to cook them. and I should have tasted them before I added them to the sauce because this is. I don't know if I'm gonna be alive tomorrow, Romuald. It's
Yeah,
What?
no. Maybe I will
What?
just finish off this live and start off and start the French just after. No, yeah, who knows?
I'll. Hey, Paul's here. Hey, man,
Yeah.
Richard. Um, Ruthanne, come on. Hey, you haven't you haven't seen your boy Stunty. He's your child for Christ's sake. What? Yeah, so Stunty, what? You're making chili? Like
no,
chili.
no. I made a meat sauce
Oh, okay.
with the tomatoes from the garden,
Wow.
Oh, nice.
and yeah,
Those are fucking huge, dude.
yeah.
Yeah, you pee on the garden every morning after listening to concrete music.
No, I have all my slaves above
Your
the.
minions.
Yeah, yeah, and then I play them Elton John, so they cry, and that's the best way to water your tomatoes.
Yeah, I'm sure about that.
Saxon
Oh,
should
son of a
work as
bitch.
well.
My other iPad is dead.
Saxon works perfect. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. How did you? So, are you looking for more records from people from like the that time in the British wave of heavy metal?
You're asking the question myself.
No, but so I only gave like a bunch of cues to Romuald about you. Told him like bunch of things that are true, like that you're big into the Pixies,
Oh yeah,
into Helmet, that
yeah,
you had like a alternative ska band,
yeah.
and then I throw in just like sneakily that you're a big major fan of Saxon. Just hoping that he would
Yeah.
not ask you that genuinely.
Welcome,
I just
Ruthanne.
I
What?
I expect this
Hi,
exact. Hi, Ruth Ann. How are you?
I am doing really well. Oh, let me see
What
if I
you?
can fix the lighting.
Where is your song, Ruthanne? Where is your song?
My song right now, I haven't put it up on my page yet, but Davy Strange Name did the music for it. I did all the lyrics, and it is really, really good.
What did he do it with AI or really or write a
No,
song?
I literally wrote all the lyrics. I mean,
Okay.
it's a very deep, very passionate love song.
And it's obviously on his channel.
Well, yeah, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
be putting it and a short up on my channel. I just haven't
Yeah.
done it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Well,
did it yesterday. I mean, at 4:30 in the morning, I woke up and just spilled this song out. I mean, it just came out in minutes, and
yeah, those are the best ones that take, you know, a few minutes to write. And, it's even crazier when you're with a like a group of people, like your band, and the
yeah,
music when it just falls out of you, and you're just like, how? And you're it's not even like jamming. It's like a level
right.
above that where it just the song literally falls out of you, and you know where it's going and what to do with this part coming out, just
That's
it's
exactly what
crazy.
happened.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. I mean, it just poured out of me. I sent it to the person that I intended to, and then I thought, and what was happening at the time I was writing it is I had a song in my head that I was kind of writing it to, but I knew what instruments I wanted. I don't know. It was a moment, really was a moment. And then I sent it to the person that I intended to, and then
is
I
this a
thought
love
this would make a
interest?
great song, but I don't know how to do that. And I've asked Dave Strange Name to help me before, and he offered to just help me because I was going to do all the AI stuff myself.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, I'm trying to play my guitar and my fingers are not cooperating. I mean, my joints just don't seem to be. It's very upsetting.
Well,
So
I'm the
figured
same
out
way.
I figured out what instruments I wanted, and I
okay,
told
so
them the
you can
parameters.
Okay, I haven't messed around with any of that stuff, so you can
It's
just
worth it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I worry that people say they're using it for inspiration, but how much inspiration are they using? I mean, what happens
It's
when
involved. It's very involved. It's not just a walk in the park.
Yeah,
And
no.
that's why I was kind of afraid to do it myself, but I wanted this song to get out there, and yet it was, it was one of those painful moments because I was so raw with my emotions while writing this song.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that you're like, you cringe and you think, oh my God, are people going to hate this? I mean, I don't know if I even like it. I mean, I did like it because it was real.
Yeah.
But
if it's real, I think that is attached to the song and emanated from the song.
Yeah, so far it's gotten loads of views and it's not even on my channel yet.
Oh, put it up.
So
I gotta check it out on Davey's channel.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what he's got on his channel, but he had sent me all the links because he did several versions, and all but one of them got cut off because it was longer than 4.5 minutes. But it came out so well, and the instruments were perfect that I had chosen, and he added a few of his own, and he makes little. I can't really go into it too much, but he's really gifted guy. Really gifted guy.
Yeah.
I was so thrilled with the result.
Stunty, we have a question for you. Why are you making tomato sauce at 3 a.m. in the morning?
Because I've worked all day.
That's when I do it.
Yeah, this is the time.
No. You guys are crazy. Fred is 100% right. But I have worked all day, and I haven't had time to eat yet. So
show the sauce again. That's looking
show
good.
the sauce.
The sauce, like I put the macaroni in it to finish the cooking in it. So now it's just like a big mixture of.
That does look good, and with the fresh tomato sauce, damn.
Garlic and it's just simple.
I miss seeing your tomatoes.
Oh my God, they're ridiculous. They're huge tomatoes, and I'm sure.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't like tomatoes. Like tomatoes and mushrooms are disgusting to me. But
really,
if you cook it though, like tomato sauce, I love that. But
yeah,
raw tomato.
Your name Pantazi, and you don't like tomato. What the heck?
Oh, you know what? It's actually my last name is Greek. It's not Italian. Like I understand.
Oh,
why
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's Greek, not Italian.
You look more like a Norseman.
Yeah, I'm offended now.
No, you look like a Norseman. You really do.
Look, Viking, you mean?
Oh yeah, they went everywhere. Are you kidding me? I had my DNA report done, and I was from all over the place, and they finally just summed me up as Viking.
Did they really? You are kidding.
I am not awesome. Kidding. I'm not kidding. It's so funny.
They took the best looking women, but they have horrible taste in music.
Yeah. Yeah, Ruthanne, I love that picture of you in the video. Just it looks like a happy.
You Stunty.
What was that?
Which picture, Nick?
I muted
What's
his
that?
mic. Oula.
Which
Oh, he's
picture
just
were you talking about?
Stunty. Oh, there's a picture of you that you remember I said who's the hot chick there, and you're like, it's me, and I said, oh no, who's the I knew it was you, and you
You did?
Yeah, of course I did, but it was funny to keep it going a little bit. And
You got me good.
I haven't checked Instagram. I've kind of abandoned it, but I'll
wish
give
you
you my
hadn't,
other
because that's
information.
Yeah, I wish you hadn't, because I mean that's the only way I can reach you.
I'll give you my other information so we can we can actually talk. Yeah.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Because we have other cool stuff to talk about too.
Oh, plenty of it. Yeah. It's not all about records and tomato sauce.
No, it's not. I wasn't aware that you write songs, Ruthanne.
I've been writing I've been playing. I started off with piano when I was 7. I was teaching myself, and my mother listened to me and went, "Holy crap!" and got me lessons right away. And so I started off with piano. I went on to flute, and when my hands were big enough, I taught myself guitar. And I've been writing music forever. Yeah, I mean, just for a long, long time. I have some really, really good songs too. They're very funny.
Which kind of songs, like folk or country stuff, or?
Well, one's country western kind of. It's called The Ballad of Sally McGee. She was a. I told everybody, because I would play like gigs in dive bars,
Mm-hmm.
And
those are some of the most
no
fun
microphone,
gigs.
no nothing, just me and my guitar.
Unplugged.
Yeah, very unplugged. But I was in choir and chorus and everything, so my voice was very well trained, and I can be very loud and be in tune and so forth. So I had a lot of training.
That's good. The bass player I used to play with, he said that there should be some kind of a committee that is in charge of bands playing live, and he said there's only 2 rules: they have to be in tune and in time. And he said, I don't think that's much to ask for, but and I guess bands, they get better at it from playing out and doing all that, but you don't even on bigger bills, it's amazing how many of these people are pretty inept and unable to.
Oh, I know.
It's pretty funny.
One of my favorite stories is that and George and I had this in common. We played the same stage in Oakland or Berkeley, I think it's called the Starry Plow, and but at different times. Every week they would have open mic night. I got up there for open mic night.
Is it Plow the Stars? Or is it
No, the Starry Plow is a constellation, and this is like an old Irish pub.
Okay, there was one in Boston called Plow the Stars. Not the Starry Plow. I don't know.
Yeah, no, really
but
different.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
It's okay. So anyway, I got up, and I didn't have my guitar with me or anything. I just did, Summertime.
Yeah.
I did that a cappella.
Yeah,
and I can keep my own rhythm very easily.
Oh yeah,
I mean, just natural. But what happened was this: somebody, I started, and somebody got up behind me, and there was a drum set there, and he started doing a very light accompaniment to what I was singing. I mean, it was perfect, and I got a standing ovation after that.
How many
And
people are in the
I
bar?
did.
That's awesome.
I got a standing ovation. And what I
Nice.
found, and this is the funny part, somebody came up to me after the fact and said, "Do you know who that drummer was?" And I said, "No idea." He says, "He plays for Patti LaBelle."
Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, you know, these people got to drink somewhere. You know,
Seriously.
Oh,
It was so much fun. I couldn't
Why?
believe I got a standing ovation. I was like, wow, you know, but I don't need the music behind me to hold a tune.
yeah, yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
It's just
How you
all the practice. All the
I see.
practice.
how are you rating this this improv date between Hot Mess and Nick P?
Hot mess. Hot mess. What do you?
Yeah, this is the name she's chosen for herself here.
Yeah. I'm just joking around because I look like Saturday
No, it's
morning.
fine. It's fine. It's been a long time since I haven't I haven't seen these three people on the same panel. Yeah.
This is our
great. I
speed
love
date,
it.
Stunty.
Yeah.
Well, if Stunty comes up, of course, and you, Nick, I mean, I have no choice.
Of course, you have to come say hello to us.
Yes, I love you guys so much. And it's so nice to see you too, Ramald. I almost never get to see you. And I think I finally spelled your name correctly.
Yeah. I'm sure everyone tries his best.
Oh, dude,
Right?
I apologize. I fucked up spelling your name probably
No problem.
million times. Getting back to you.
The thing is, I never thought anyone would ask, "Hey, what is your real name?" So this is why I named and I didn't mention at the beginning. And then everyone, "Hey, what is your real name?" Oh, how can we? Okay.
Is it pronounced Ramon?
Romuald.
Romuald.
Ro, like row.
Yeah.
Mew, like a mew.
Yeah.
Romuald.
Romeo.
And Hal. You know the paper, the Herald Tribune. The same.
Yes.
Romuald.
Romuald.
You got it.
Romuald.
Romulu.
Okay. I gotta get the accent.
We roll
in
our
there.
R's on this.
Very American right now.
No, we don't roll. We do the French.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
scratch.
They're
You
gonna-
don't roll the
We do
R.
it to the nose too. I don't know.
You don't roll the R in France. You scratch it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that a Spanish and is Italian a type thing?
I know it's Scottish.
Yeah.
No,
All right,
I'm
I'll
really
I'll
trying to
leave
improve my French accent. It used to be spot on, and now it's gone to completely to hell.
I'll keep watching, but yeah, it's not really that polite to eat alone with others. So I'll let.
It's fine with me.
No. It's not
Here's
fine.
eat.
No, but I'll be watching.
All right.
Sure.
Let's talk soon, man.
Thanks for popping by.
You.
Yeah.
Bye.
Merci d'être venu.
Well, here we are, guys.
Yeah, I wanted to ask. So who were you like? Who are your favorite? Like, if you had to rate, say, your top 5 favorite bands from the '90s. Actually, I'll both of you this. Who would they be?
I'm terrible at that.
Me too. I'm awful at it because it changes
I'm
so
really
much.
awful at it. I mean,
there's definitely some anchors like that are definite, definitive bands.
I just, the 90s were kind of like a blur. I was always so busy. I was always doing something wacky. And,
Yeah.
I mean, just, woo.
Yeah, it's a tough question.
Very tough because, I really was not in the normal world during the 90s.
Oh, no, I wasn't either. I'm not even close to it.
No, mine was really, really not even close to it.
Yeah,
I wasn't running around naked somewhere. I was, I don't know.
As a prog guy, I will certainly mention Radiohead, but
Oh, Radiohead are. I
Radiohead.
don't even think of them as prog. They're something. I love some of their music. The rest of it, I need to. I don't know. I just need to listen to it more because I know that like that song. The first song I heard by them, I think, was on some weird beach house MTV stupid thing. The first song I really liked from them was that Fake Plastic Trees song. Something about that song, man. It just the feeling and the delivery, it's so there. That's one of those tunes that like, or here's one. What are some songs that when you hear it, you cannot help but get choked up hearing it? I'm just saying that because Fake Plastic Trees is one of those songs that just hits me right in the heart every time.
I wish I could see if I heard it, then I could relate.
Yeah.
I'd have to hear
Not
it.
even 90s, just all music.
All music?
Yeah, are there songs that
Yeah, Little Wing from Jimi Hendrix.
Which song from Hendrix?
Little Wing
Oh yeah,
from
dude.
Jimi Hendrix. Yeah, it kills me
Nothing
every
That's a
time.
tough question. You know what song? Sorry, what song really, really got me, and this is going way, way back, is "Behind Blue Eyes."
Which version?
I think
The
that was
Who
the
or
Who.
yeah?
Yeah, the Who.
Yeah.
Who else did a version?
They covered the early 2000s. Not Papa Roach. Gosh, Behind Blue
I don't think
Eyes.
I ever heard a cover. I mean, there's some songs that I just like majorly rock out to.
Limp
Like I love
Bizkit.
that song "Jesse's Girl."
Limp Bizkit. When I graduated in high school, Limp
yeah.
Bizkit cover that song.
They were big in that. Like obviously they got big. I want to say early 2000s, right? Or mid 2000s. Like I remember the rap metal thing becoming a genre, and I liked some of them, but some of those bands were just so cheesy. It like makes me want to implode. It was so cheesy to listen to, but then there were some good ones. Like I don't mind a band like Korn. I think they were doing something new, at least with the vocals of what's his name, Jonathan. There something. He did some interesting like percussive vocals, not just singing, but I liked him. And that, but I do remember Limp Bizkit doing a cover of Behind Blue Eyes. It's like who's that band that they recently did that cover of that Simon and Garfunkel tune?
The Sound of Silence.
Yes, yeah.
That one really gets me. And I am just a poor boy, though my story's often told.
Yeah,
I've squandered my existence.
Disturbed.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I cheated and I checked on Google. I cheated.
Well, you
That's
admitted
alright.
it. That's fine.
Yeah. No, but I knew about that cover, which is a brilliant one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, some covers are they're either done really well or they're embarrassing to listen to. Hey, John, why don't you come up here, dude? Dave.
Have you ever heard the covers that were, I guess this was when Harry Nilsson, after Harry Nilsson passed away.
Oh,
a bunch of different artists got together and they did all these Harry Nilsson songs. They're great. I mean, they're great.
Yeah, I love that. That
I love Harry.
Gotta get up. Yeah, man.
They did some wild.
Yeah,
I think one band was practically screaming.
That's the last time Paul McCartney and John Lennon, they were jamming together during Harry Nilsson's. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that. Was it
74,
or was that just it's noted that they
You
played
can find
together.
some stuff on YouTube. Just Google John
Yeah.
Lennon, McCartney, 74, Harry Nilsson recording session stuff, and
Oh, okay.
Oh,
they are
cool.
just jamming, like in the middle of the night, and they just sing.
Yeah,
Happens
right.
to be singing together, so you can hear that both singing.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Do you
but it's
know what
not.
song? Do you know what song they sung at Harry's funeral?
No.
And this was really spontaneous. You're breaking my heart. You're tearing it apart. So fuck you. They all sang that song as they were burying Harry. It was really spontaneous. They couldn't think of any other thing to do but sing that.
Oh, yeah. John has a good. Yeah, Pantera. They were huge. Good point, John. They were huge in the in like they started to get their popularity in the 90s. And man, I was, I was lucky enough to see him a few times before the brothers passed away, or they even broke up at all. But man, they were just such an intense band, and
What's the name of them
they're
again?
so tight live.
Corn?
No, Pantera.
Oh, Pantera. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, they're a band that I still love to this day, and have a good amount um of their records. And did I already ask you, like, what's a band that you have their like complete discography of either vinyl, CDs, both?
Me?
Both of you.
Yeah, go ahead, Ruthanne.
Oh, well, I have the Wicked Tinkers. I have like 4 CDs from them, and 3 of them I think they gave to me. Well, I helped them
No,
out a little bit.
I'm laughing at Stunty's comment.
What's Stunty doing?
Yes,
Talking about Pantera.
I have all the albums by the Beatles. Okay, it's not very exotic. Sorry
Oh
about
no,
that.
but
Yeah,
and like, are you
yeah.
one of those people that has to have all the UK originals and this pressing of that? You know,
Okay, let's
this
put it
the
like this.
dead wax.
I was like, I'm not crazy about the Matrix stuffs and so on, but I grew up in the 90s with a CD, so this was my standard. And in 2019, I had this chance to travel a lot to the UK,
Okay,
and I could
Nice.
easily
that's cool.
find, not paying that much, mono per version. And some are not in top shape, great
Yeah,
conditions, but
right.
fine. And I have them, and I don't need 10 copies of that, and I don't need to spend another 15 years finding better copies.
Right.
Just happen to get it. All the
Yeah.
pressings, all the albums in the pressing, I would love to have. So yeah, but yeah, it makes a difference the first time you listen to Revolver in mono,
Oh
a
yeah.
UK press, when you used to the CD version stereo
Yeah.
from '87.
Yeah.
It's definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I lost the hearing in my left ear when I was really young.
Oh yeah.
So
You told me
I
that.
only have just my right ear that I can hear out of. So,
Are you
and it's
totally
better than
Is it
normal.
totally gone in your left ear, or can you
Yeah, I
still
have
hear?
bone conduction, but they said the nerve was dead,
Oh.
but I don't think that's true. I don't know what's going on with my ear now.
You
But
don't know what caused it? Was it like a
yeah, I had the mumps.
Oh,
Yeah, I had the mumps.
yeah,
I
wow.
had all those lovely childhood diseases. Yeah,
They
oatmeal
sound so good.
baths and oh god.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What is that? That looks like a, yeah. You can tell by the back. It's a UK or flip back.
This is,
Yeah.
that's a dash 2 UK first press mono. Yeah, this is one of my prized possessions. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's a dash
Now it
2.
looks
You
shiny.
said.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very nice and clean.
You know, I only have a few of the Beatles UK stuff, because I don't need to get super into it. tracking down this pressing, that pressing. I think
Yeah.
the mono box filled that was a great part, a great start to a Beatles collection, and because they did it and it sounds so damn good.
Yeah.
Do you have that? I mean, I bought mine in like 2016 for like $250 or something.
No, I don't have. I don't have.
$215?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Now they're
Holy crap. That's a lot of money.
oh, they're going for $2,000 now.
Yeah. Yeah. The
Wow.
mono box set. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it is nuts.
Oh, I had all the albums on CD, which I bought when I was very young in France.
There are
So
some really good
yeah.
CD versions of some of the Beatles stuff. Like, didn't they do a remaster or something?
Yeah, 2009.
Not
Yeah.
okay.
I have
I have a
one.
CD collection of the Beatles,
Yeah.
but yeah, somewhere around here too.
Hmm.
I don't know where.
And
There's
yeah,
such a mess going on here.
Pink Floyd, I probably have all the albums, the entire studio albums, not the outtakes, the rarity
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah, they have a
Wow.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joy Division. Okay, it's not not hard.
Yeah, but you have the right ones.
Yeah, and yeah, Jimi Hendrix probably. I have the entire catalog.
Oh
Nice.
wow, that's not easy. You know what? One of my favorite Hendrix recordings is the one live at. God damn, I can't believe.
Woodstock.
No, it wasn't Woodstock. It was like a specific Ryko disc. Put it out on a 2 LP set, and they play like he plays "Sunshine of Your Love."
I
Like the
love
whole
that
song.
just after Cream broke up. Yeah, that's the night he said, "Hey, I'm really sad. The Cream decided to disband." And
Yes,
yeah.
What and that's available.
Yeah.
It was recorded extremely well, and Ryko Disc put it out in, I want to say 2009 or 10, maybe. I can't believe I can't remember the venue.
Isn't that New Year's Eve '68 when you say
no,
Happy New Year Festival?
It was live at a place like I want to say
Fillmore?
I want to say it was England. I could. I can't believe I can't remember it. I'm terrible with even remembering song titles or
Oh, then we share that, Nick.
I mean, I know the songs full through, but I don't know what they're called necessarily.
And yeah, Cream.
I just now remembered what song makes me cry.
What?
Which one?
The Rose, when Bette Midler does the Rose.
Oh yeah,
that makes me cry.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The Rose.
Hey,
it's so beautiful. And I can relate to it so much. And I actually bought the sheet music to learn how to play it on the piano and never did.
Yeah, my mom was she was like a true savant musician.
Really?
She didn't remember. I guess she didn't remember not reading music. Like she reads music, probably better than most of us read.
Wow,
English or a language or whatever.
That's quite a gift.
Oh yeah, and she I want to say she played it like what the hell? It's a huge hall in New York City. She played a few good gigs.
It was Radio City Hall.
I'm not sure if it's Radio City Music Hall. I can't remember. I'm not gonna remember any event, but anyway, like our living room used to have a grand piano, actually two grand pianos, an organ, like a pump with your foot one with the air.
Yeah, player piano. Oh yeah, my cousin.
No, it wasn't
it
wasn't a player. It was an organ that it was like a pump organ. You had to keep your feet going or the air.
And they had the little paper rolls in them.
No, this didn't have the paper rolls. You had to go like that with your feet to make it play.
Yeah, I know, but they usually had some kind of paper
roll.
I know. This was like an organ.
You're thinking of a player piano.
I am.
Yeah.
They're not alive.
We also had a harpsichord in there for a while. That was an interesting one. Have you ever seen how a harpsichord works in a really cool way? I don't know if you've ever seen. It's like a guitar, say like a guitar string, and it plucks them.
Yeah.
I think that it's very interesting.
It's a fascinating instrument. I've never had one in my hands, but I've seen them.
Oh yeah, I mean, you need to push down. It's not like, like even a weighted piano key. Like these felt like they all feel. I mean, they were played in the 1600s, so it was a bit of a clunky instrument. But
sure, yeah,
especially for a stringed instrument. But
I always thought the strings were pinched.
Was it catgut or what?
Yeah.
In the 1600s.
Yeah. I don't remember. That's a good question. I don't know. What were you saying?
I always thought that the harpsichord, the strings were pinched, like picking.
Yeah. They're picked. Yeah.
Picked. Yeah. The pinch.
Yeah. Like a guitar string kind of. Yeah. And have you also the inside of a Rhodes piano? That every time, like all of those, have you ever played a Rhodes piano? It feels like kind of sludgy and slow, but it's a cool feeling. And those work by like every single key has a like a tuning fork that
really
and the tuning fork, it's amplified and comes out sounding like a Rhodes piano.
Wow, didn't know.
I didn't know that until like 10 years ago when I fixed one.
I think Easy Now has got it. The venue we were looking prior, Beacon Theatre in London. That's probably the one.
Is that the one? Okay, I think I think you're right. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
He said read it, but I'm the one to be blamed because I didn't highlight. Sorry about that. Oh, Christophe, fellow member for the French vinyl community, is asking if you can show us some records. Do you have some records?
Oh yeah, records are all around me. Always.
Cool. Yeah. So.
Let me. All right. Well, here I'll just start with a pile. This is what's in this particular pile. This is I never owned a copy of this, so I grabbed this from one of Patrick's auctions. It's a US, like the Monarch one. It sounds excellent. I listened to this somewhat recently. And this is obviously the early one, because this artwork got banned pretty quickly.
Did it?
Oh yeah, it's not a nice picture if you really look at it. What's going on?
Yeah, that very iconic late 80s.
Yeah.
With Welcome to the Jungle and all that.
Oh yeah. The album starts off with Welcome to the Jungle. Yeah, I liked Guns N' Roses because they seemed like they were mixing like punk and metal, and that it just worked.
I remember liking them. I was married to somebody who really liked all that, so I kind of had to.
Yeah, that was very good stuff. Here's So I went. It took me. I know these are standard records, but it took me a good while to find a pressing of Sticky Fingers, because I have the zipper one, but it's a little noisy, so I wanted a clean copy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I went through probably 5 or 6 before I found this one, and this is, I believe, it's it's a European pressing from 2015 or so, or I forget, but it took a while of asking around and stuff. Here's a
Japanese.
Japanese cover of.
Is that a mono or the true stereo?
No, this I don't think this ever came out in mono. Abbey Road. This was one of the. This was the one that didn't come out in mono.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
And this is awesome. So I should have told him to come to this. So there's this dude on YouTube that I met, and his name is Bloody F Mess, and he played with a band called the Scabs. And this
Bloody
dude,
F Mess.
yeah, and it was Bloody Mess and the Scabs was his name, was his band name, and he and I, like, we immediately hit it off in the just in the comments, and I said, do a live thing so we can actually talk.
Yeah.
And he did that, and he sent me his record a little bit ago. I mean, some of the dudes from the Plasmatics play on this. I want to say one of the dudes that played with Patti Smith, like some pretty legendary punk people on this, and he's just a great person all around. I would definitely check this guy's stuff out. And his story.
I like the name.
Yeah. He's funny as hell. He's a great dude. All right. Here's a good one. This is the second pressing of Skylarking, because this one has the song "Dear God" on it. The first one. Or wait, no, I'm sorry. The first one, or did it? Doesn't matter. This is the one with "Dear God" on it. This is like one of my favorite albums, XTC Skylarking. Well, it is for this week at least. And then everyone's been. By the way, these are records I've listened to over the past, I don't know, 3 months, when everyone was talking about the new thing of this. I have a really clean original green US, and I know some people love the Vertigo swirl or whatever, and after I heard all of them, just even recordings of them, I prefer this one, the first US press, but unfortunately they're not very easy to find.
Yeah, the track listing is a little bit different. You don't have Evil Woman on that.
Yeah, you're totally right. Oh, and this one doesn't say thank you to Steve Westman like the new reissue does. I don't know how he announces them, but man, getting your name on a Sabbath, that's cool. This is interesting. This is a Woody Guthrie box set that I've had for years.
Woody Guthrie
in a while, and it's really interesting. It has like a book of all his of the lyrics, and this is just a really cool box set. And
nice.
Somebody, I don't know why somebody did this, but somebody printed it off and put another copy in here. But anyway, this is my copy of Woody Guthrie. This is the Library of Congress recordings. sounds sounds like real hippie shit, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Jeez.
here's a typical one. Zep 3.
Yeah,
Oh,
classic.
here's a fun one. Nielsen.
Oh,
yeah.
This is
Harry.
a great album.
I just loved him. Me and my
Me too.
arrow.
Yeah.
Or Joy to
Wes
the World.
Montgomery. This is kind of a cheesy, you know, like when the jazz dudes play like pop covers. It's kind of
Uh-huh.
like this, but I'm a sucker for these Verve inner sleeves with the circles around them.
Uh-huh.
So I guess I mostly own this one for the inner sleeve. Now this is an interesting one. It's a Riverside recording of Mongo Santa Maria, who I never heard of before this album, and it's called Explosion.
Is that a jazz?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
It's jazz like
Which kind
mixed
of?
with Latin.
Okay.
It's an interesting, yeah. It's a cool listen. You know, the Riverside. I'm not sure when this came out, but
Can we relate this a little bit to Santana Caravanserai or?
yeah. It is kind of
Did
like
somebody
that.
say
With
Santana?
Okay, it's not jazz Santana, but just to.
no.
No.
It's I'd say it's more Latin, but it has
Yeah.
more of a jazz you know, feel. I found this record. I actually found two of them at the what is it, the Salvation Army.
Okay.
I love that place.
They still have dollar records, and this happens to be a German pressing of this album. And I mean, you might get a kick out of this with the German label.
Yeah, with the G,
Hansa.
with the GMA. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have I found two of them actually, and they're super clean. And
This is something for Stunty. Stunty.
Yeah,
This
right.
is something for you.
Yeah. I mean, you don't say no to a dollar in German press.
No, I wouldn't even say no to a dollar thing, and I have no way to play them.
Yeah.
You don't say no to.
Here's this. This is funny. This is my old band's record.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I haven't looked at this in a while.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, these are the last guys I played with and toured with.
Can you talk about this a little bit?
Yeah. We recorded this. I want to say like 2011, maybe. It was put out by the label Side One Dummy. The owner of Side One Dummy, there's a silent partner in that, and that is it's not too silent now. It's Kevin Lyman, who is the guy who started Warped Tour, and he's always been super kind and nice to you know, even before I joined them. He was great, but yeah, this is the first record that I recorded. Oh, you know what's funny? I actually got them. I said, "There's no way they're gonna do this," and I kind of said it joking, but they did it. They stretched it. Instead of doing 133, I got an indie record label to do 2 at 45 RPM.
Wow.
That was funny, but it was like an inside joke, but it went through.
That's funny.
Oh, this is interesting. Phil Oakes, just kind of
Looks like an old garage rock stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
just by the cover, just by looking the cover.
oh, this. I haven't listened to this yet. It's on the Elektra label.
Huh.
Someone named Paul used to own this. So, you know what? I should ask Psycho's Platters, Paul, if this is his record and if he'd like it back. Four Tops, Main Street people.
Yeah.
Nobody
that's
sends
about
Stunty Elton John.
What's that?
Nobody should ever send Stunty any Elton John ever.
Oh yeah,
I would.
Clear.
But you have to put some cash with the record.
Yeah, if you put cash with the record, that's all right, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some of the records around me. I mean, I could do that for another 2 hours, but I'm sure you'd get tired of it.
But it's interesting.
What do you got?
Yeah, about Guthrie and all that stuff. All Guthrie, and it was like very popular. The folk stuff.
Yeah,
I love Arlo Guthrie.
Yeah, Dylan, wouldn't be around doing what he did.
I make myself big. So yeah, this is a band. They were just prior the prog family. Roger Chapman.
Yeah,
integrated some interesting oriental stuff, family entertainment. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff I'm into. So the band family or these guys, these guys. If you are talking about modern folk, Fairport Convention. This is their first album.
Love them. Are you kidding? And Still I Stand.
I have a
Still I Stand. That's the band. One of the members founded after he left. But that's the very first album. You don't have Senny Denny. It's a Judy Dybel who sings on the band. And it's interesting that Joe Boyd, the producer, the American, he saw Dylan electrify the folk, and then he went to work with at the UFO Club with Soft Machine and Pink Floyd. He was their producer, and he say, "Hey, you're lovely gangs of English people. You have to trust yourself. Stop doing the American covering Emmett Rhodes, Bob Dylan, Johnny Mitchell stuff. Try finding your own style." And then Sandy Denny joined the band, changing dramatically, played more British folk. Dave Swarbrick, fiddle player, joined as well. So, and this is their absolutely masterpiece, Legion Leaf. Mozzie recently found a copy when on his trip to the UK. Crazy
of
album.
That record. I've never seen that record.
Oh yeah,
those are kind of the rules of the PC. That weird shit like that's got to happen.
Yeah. So it's a UK press. I got Island label, and Sandy Denny, she had worked with the Strobes. It's interesting. The Strobes, like folk prog band. This is the record she wrote right before.
I'm gonna have to hear it to recognize that. Yeah.
Sandy Denny, and this is her solo album, and I also got a couple albums by the Strobes. Rick Wakeman played with the Strobes, so a little bit more prog, but those are really folk. That's the debut. That's the second one, Dragonfly.
I know this record. What is it?
Really folk. Yeah, folk prog, progressive folk.
I love folk. I really love folk.
I know.
We used to go in the woods, my friend Heather and I, and bring our guitars, and we'd sing folk, and we were very good at singing together. So our harmonies were just beautiful. I often think about that.
There is a song called Blue Angel. It's simply beautiful. It's early 70s folk by British band. So
nice.
Just showing a couple of records too.
Well, I have a book. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
What's your book?
This book here, Latin for all occasions.
I'll make you big.
Can you see it?
Yep.
It's
Latin,
hysterical. It's hysterical. This is the funniest book. It tells you how to say all kinds of horrible things in Latin. Like, okay, Hacker Latin, the user-friendly computer. How's hacking, chiphead? It tells you how to say that in Latin. It also tells you my motherboard fried. I am in a pessiminal mode. Or I'm globally torqued. Moby Bigosity. Bogosity? I don't know. Yeah. Or I have a fax machine in my BMW and it tells you exactly how to say that in Latin. This is a fun book, let me tell you.
And what? Who wrote it? What? And when did it come out? That's. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. It was written by Henry Beard, and he calls himself Henricus Barbatus. This is,
okay. I mean, what? I'm not familiar with him. Has he done other shit like that in that vein?
Probably. Let me see. This is the most useful book of the season. Henry Beard improves the taste level of America. And now there's even more. Latin punchlines, Latin sports cheers, Latin poetry. I mean, it's just, let me see what it says inside. Oh, was he a former altar boy? Yeah. Oh, he freed former altar boys. Let's see. It says Henricus has realized that he simply cannot stop when there are people in this world who don't know how to say, please don't squeeze the Charmin in Latin. Hey, now isn't that useful? Run around the supermarket in Latin. Please don't squeeze the Charmin.
I forgot about that ad.
Or, oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. You can do James Cagney, okay? You say, you dirty rat in Latin. Yeah. Let's see. How would you say that?
What movie is that?
Once again, say it again.
Tu rapis turtus.
Okay.
That's you dirty rat.
Yeah. If you want to do that. Or you could impress the stiffest of maitre d's by saying, Capone's Presencio.
Brian.
I am a restaurant reviewer.
How could you say that in Japanese, Brian?
Yeah, you gotta say in Japanese, or
Hi,
Brian
Brian.
will know what you're
What do I need to
about.
say?
He
What do I
forgot
need to say?
English and only knows Japanese now.
Hey,
how are you, dude?
Nice to see you guys. Thanks for
Nice to
having
see
me
you.
up.
Thanks for,
Ruthanne, Nick, we've met once or twice. Nice to see you. I'm kind of missing you actually on the vinyl community. It's nice to see you on. Good job, good on you, Rami, to get him up here. And like, it's nice to see both your guys' faces. And Ruthanne, I know you, but I don't know you well. And I don't know if we've been on a stream together. But hello, I'm Brian from Tokyo. Nice to meet you.
Brian.
She hung out on George and I's show for a bit.
Yeah, I've seen you there. Remind me where in the world you are, Ruthanne.
I'm just 20 minutes north of San Diego in California.
Okay, nice. All right, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, guess where I am right now?
Where?
In Japan.
Give you a hint. I'll give you a hint. I'm in Tokyo, but guess where in Tokyo I am? Here's the hint. I want you to want me.
He's Budokan.
Budokan. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
There it is.
Live from Budokan.
Wow.
I'm just dashing across town to go meet up with a friend, and I've been listening to the show the whole time, and I've been really enjoying it. And I was like, oh, I should stop I'm right here at the Budokan. I'll stop.
Yeah,
nice idea, Brian. That's a wonderful idea, and I can't tell you how flattered I am that I've been missed. That makes me feel so wonderful.
Yeah. I definitely it's great to see everybody, and it's great to tune in. And I don't know if I've been on, it's Saturday morning here, so it's easy for me this is my moment to sort of, what's the word, freeload and crash a couple of streams.
Are you on the way to work?
It's not Saturday morning, it's Sunday morning, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. It's Sunday morning. But it's a 3-day weekend, which is why I'm a little bit confused. But
okay.
Yeah, I have some time. Yeah. Hey, Ruthanne, I had something for you. I don't have a ton of time, but my mother. Well, okay, so take this with a grain of salt, but I heard about your ear situation. You said you had this bum ear for a long time. My mother had this bum eye, totally different, I realized, but she had this eyeball. She got in this accident when she was a kid, and she had this sort of like David Bowie eye. She had two different color eyes, which we never, as kids, like we never really
chimerism.
thought about.
That looks cool.
It kind of was, yeah. But people would say to me like, "Hey, what's wrong with your mom's eye?" I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I like we didn't actually notice it
about it."
But she just had this like one pupil that was like 3 times the size of the other pupil. But she had irises on both eyes. But she went to the doc. She just recently got the whole medical thing where she goes in and she gets everything checked out. But the doc said, like, what's going on with your eye? And she said, oh, I've had this injury forever. And he says, can you see out of it? And she said, it's kind of, no, not that well. And I just lived with it for all my life. And they said, we can fix this.
What?
That we
Does
can
she want to fix it?
We can fix this. And they were like,
wow.
Has anybody ever asked you about getting this fixed? And she said, well, I just assumed that it was my lot in life, And they said, no, we can fix this. And you should, this is like, this is one for the medical journals. And
it's pretty rare. I think that condition is it's not.
Yeah, well, I think there's different kinds and there's different levels, and I don't know what hers specifically was, but they said we can fix your vision so that you can actually see perfectly out of it, and not only that, we can actually fix your pupil and make it look like your other pupil. And she had my mother had to come to us and be like, "Hey, they're gonna fix my pupils," and we were like, "No,
leave it.
Don't do that." Yeah. Don't do that. But Ruth, I just wanted to put
it
out there as
without your big pupil.
You should go if you haven't had it checked in decades. Maybe you should. Maybe it's an opportunity. I just wanted to inspire you to maybe go check it out and see if there's some new medical fang-dangled thing that wasn't there the last time you checked. Because maybe you can get Maybe you can get your hearing in the other ear back.
Well, let me tell you what I did. This is a little bit interesting. I think you guys will find it interesting. I've been involved and have studied the mind sciences. That's what I call them, the mind sciences, how the brain cells work and operate and communicate together and so forth. And I knew from family history that one of my relatives grew back their tonsils and another family member grew back their gallbladder. Yeah, I mean, they just grew back. So I thought, well, if they can do it, why can't I grow back my nerve if I don't have a live nerve? So what I did was I made myself a hypnosis tape. And it's really powerful if you're doing your own voice because you listen to yourself all the time.
Oh, that's interesting.
So I made myself a tape and I imagined and I had the anatomy book and I looked at it. And so I'd play this tape and, just hoping that maybe something would happen. Well, I played it a few times, forgot about it, and then I accidentally lent it out to somebody who never gave it back. But what happened was about a year later. Now, bear in mind, my deaf ear, and I'm driving with the window down. I started hearing stuff on that side, which for me is really strange because I'm not used to that. And I don't know where things are. I'm directionally challenged with sounds. And so I thought, what the heck? So I went to one of those hearing aid places and they said, you have a live nerve. I said, what? They said, yeah, you have a live nerve, but I think that there's something adhered to, there's this little tiny bone that hits something else that makes the sound go in through the nerve to the brain. I think that's stuck. That's what my intuition, what my gut says. So she said, it's possible for you to hear through bone conduction. And I hear now they have these things that, they use them in the army and stuff where they will use, they'll communicate through bone conduction so that the guys can hear with their ears and they can have situational awareness. Right. I thought that would be perfect for me. But to get back to my story, I went to a hearing doctor. And I said, look, this is the experience I had. He told me I was nuts. And I thought, screw you guys.
Get a second opinion.
Yeah.
He's my second opinion. And
Get a third opinion. Get a third and fourth opinion.
Get the right one, man.
I know. And I often think, I don't know, I would have to reorient my whole life because I am not used to having hearing in 2 ears.
That's the thing I wanted to say is that my mother she was like, I can't believe I've gone through my whole life, and it's like the best thing that she's ever done. So I almost nearly forgot to mention that. So I don't think I can understand how you're like, wait, but this is my thing. This is my identity. I couldn't do it any other way. But I bet you ever seen those, like they got glasses that if you put the glasses on upside down and the whole world, like it only takes a matter of time for like 5 minutes for the human brain to like figure out that left is right and up is down. It's an amazing adaptation tool. And that would probably be the least of your concerns if you could actually get it to some improvement on it. Anyway, I just want to say good luck on that.
I appreciate that very much. In fact, I should put that on my to-do list.
You should.
Why not, right? Why not?
Why not, right?
Brian,
yeah, I have nothing to lose.
It's like a record. You have the first opinion, Rob the Wax, then Mazzy, then you have Stunty, and then it's the real deal.
And now we have Brian.
Is everybody telling you to fix your ears? Am I the next in line?
Why you want to be my son too?
Brian, was it an option for your mother to get the eye fixed without messing with it?
Yes, it was. And I think yes, but to be honest, I kind of forgotten the update on it. It only happened in the last, I think she did it, and I think she told me like, now be warned. I vaguely remember this conversation when I went back for Christmas, and she was like, now listen, when you see me, my eyes fixed. And I was like, okay. I think I prepared myself for it. I think it didn't like shock me. I think it was fine. Yeah, in the end. I can't really even remember where we left it at, but she did get it fixed, and she's like, oh my God, I can see, I can drive, I can see, I wish I could ski. Yeah, it's
It's a wonderful story. I love it.
Yep.
And I should probably get that checked out. Like I said, I really think it's something else now. I don't think
it might have been something that like 20 years ago, like she went and like they couldn't fix, but now they can. I mean, you heard about Harry's Music Room. You go into these places and they zap you, and then you walk out, and it's like a miracle. Like 20 minutes later, not even like 5 minutes later, you're like, what the hell just happened? It's like downloaded vision from the internet. It's like maybe you can. I shouldn't be talking out of class, but
that's amazing. That's amazing.
I don't know.
I'll email you some hearing, Ruthanne.
Well, the new AirPods taken care of. The new Apple AirPods that just came out.
Yeah, are they good?
They're not spendy, they're not cheap, but like I think a set of hearing aids, not that would fix it, but like a set of hearing aids, I think you got to pay like $1,000 for a pair of those, or a decent pair.
I keep telling my dad to get those, and somewhere he had a hearing test somewhat recently, and his he got vertigo, and he passed that. I'm not sure if it's a genetic thing, but he passed it on to me. Have you ever had vertigo? Like, it's like being wasted, drunk, and stoned, but not.
That's the Vegas nerve. That's the Vegas nerve.
It's terrible. Luckily, it's only happened a couple times, but he has something, I forget what it's called. It's a syndrome or something. Damn, who else? Anyway, I keep telling him to just get for $1,000, that may be that's a lot of money, but this is your hearing.
But now did you hear the new AirPods? They baked in hearing aids into them.
So you can no, I didn't notice. No, I didn't understand.
Yeah. The Apple AirPods 4, you can, for $300 or $250 or whatever they cost, which is nothing. Should be within, if you can't afford $1,000 pair of what are they called? hearing aids, you can go to Apple, and they've got the new thing is maybe this is the direction of the hearing aids are going, is that you will just buy them they'll come included in your newest AirPods or headphones or whatever.
I
You know
need
what?
to
I
go
know.
fund me for something like that. I really would, because not only
Check
am
it out.
I'm on a really, really fixed income. So
Yeah, well,
I'd
maybe
have
you
to
could
do a
get
GoFundMe.
crowdfunding a pair of something that will help you create and enjoy music is something that the vinyl community probably would get behind rather quickly.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah. You know how many
That'd be
times
I'm
pretty
not making any
we're gonna
amazing.
promises.
need,
I'm
and
broke
it's
as a joke myself, but
no.
put
Yeah,
in
no, I mean, I have
$5-10
to
into
save
it.
up to register my car. Okay, so
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah,
yeah,
Well,
money
they might even
sucks,
have
man.
they might even have some program where Apple does that kind of thing. They might even have some Good Samaritan sort of program. But anyway, hey guys,
yeah.
this was fun, and Ramon, I'm so
Yeah,
happy to hop on. I gotta bounce, but thank you guys for letting me join and crash the stream, and I really
Yeah,
enjoyed
thank you,
the whole
Brian.
Thank
conversation.
you for crashing. It's been
It's so
great.
fun to hear you guys talk. Yeah, and Rami, thanks again for the vinyl tag, love. I really appreciate it. I think I already mentioned I listened to all the records. I put a vinyl tag forth, and Rami was one of the people who took it up, and I went and listened from front to back to all 20 of his records, and it was an incredible, rewarding experience. And not because I got
thank
to
you.
know him through his music, gave me sort of the impetus to hop on the call and be like, "Yo, dude, we're friends. I know
Yeah,
your
yeah,
music."
yeah.
It was really cool. So, anyway,
Oh,
more good music,
Brian,
love,
did you hear? I have a new song out.
Oh, I want to hear
I
it.
don't
Oh,
have it on
excellent.
my
Yeah.
page yet. It's called
Okay.
Long Distance Lover.
I heard that
And
it's got attention, and it hasn't even been put online yet. I heard you mention it earlier.
yeah,
I'm
it's
waiting
got a
for it.
lot of
Okay.
attention. And it's a collaboration with Davey Strange Name, and I told him I was gonna do it all myself, but he was like, "Give me that thing. We're not gonna wreck
Okay.
this with you doing it, Ruthanne."
Well, we'll put it. I want to hear.
He
Let's
was
get it
right.
going. So get it out there, and yeah, I'm keen to check it out, and keen to check out anybody who's doing their darndest
It
to make
was
more
so
music in the
hard
world.
to put this out there, Brian. Because it's really deep. It's a deep song for me.
Okay.
And
All right. Well,
so
more of
it
that,
was tough.
please. All right. Until
Yeah.
neks time, guys. Have a good
Yeah,
one.
good
Thank you,
seeing you,
Brian.
Brian.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much,
All
sending
right.
copies.
Peace
Brian.
out.
Bye.
Peace out. Well, that was sweet.
Yeah, Brian is like he brings like this instant sunshine to every stream he enters.
He does.
Exactly, yeah.
He's
Yeah.
an awesome dude.
I love it. I just love it. That's wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
we will
I
be
like
maybe
him.
doing another 10 minutes, and
Yeah. You
yeah,
can let me know.
just in case if people have questions, if you wanna,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, sure.
Good enough.
I mean, I think everyone in here I've spoken to except for Christoph, but Sean, Sean and I loved his video about the Cramps record. What he had to say about it was really it's so true, and it rang out. It's very
A
similar.
Cramps record?
Yeah, there's a Cramps record. It was a compilation called "Bad Music for Bad People," and the the cover of it
That's
is
so
like
mean.
this completely unforgettable artwork. I wish.
yeah. The Cramps written in that green lettering. No,
They definitely have it in a
uh,
certain font that they've always
yeah,
had.
yeah.
Oh,
But
that's hysterical.
it was such a pivotal album, like in my life, like in my late teens, early 20s. And I know,
Mhm.
that's one of those albums you just know back and forth. And I mean, I still couldn't tell you all the song titles, but I know the songs.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way, Nick.
Yeah.
I don't remember the band's names or the titles of songs, but if I can hear usually sing all the words to
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
I have auditory memory, and I have a few different memories where like I have photographic memory.
Oh,
Auditory
true
memory.
photographic memory is pretty rare. I don't think like people it's like I don't know if it's as rare, but people who truly have perfect pitch. I mean, I hear that thrown around a lot, but no, a lot of people have relative pitch, and you can train yourself to have relative pitch.
That's true.
Perfect pitch. That's like one in either 10,000 or 100,000. I want
You're
to say
absolutely right.
larger number, and because it's so fucking rare. But the guy that played bass in my first band, he truly had it. He was, I don't know how he could play in a band with other people, because all the notes were so, he knew, if I burped, I'd say, what key was that? He could tell you that. Or the car driving by, it just beeped, and you can test them on it. And we could also play an up to I think a 9-voiced, like super complicated chord, and he could tell us all the notes that we're playing in it. It was just, man, it was nuts. And that's gotta be super rare to truly have that talent.
No,
but,
I would have said, before I knew what it really meant, I would have said I have perfect pitch, because I mean I can tune my guitar perfectly.
Oh yeah, you know how to do that. You're just used to how it sounds, and
but no, I don't have perfect pitch.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't either. My mother, she didn't have perfect pitch, but her pitch was always within like a half step or so. So she was good at remembering stuff like that. Her piano's still right out in my living room, and it's good to see that the keys are so worn, from her just playing the hell out of that thing for so many years. I'm glad I have it.
I'm glad you do too. We had a baby grand piano, and my mother unfortunately had to sell it in the divorce. But oh man, that thing had belonged to my grandparents. It was beautiful.
Do you remember the brand? Was it like a nice brand?
I don't. No. But it had to be like the best, because my grandparents were bajillionaires.
Did you ask where's your slice of the pie?
My slice of the pie is in a nursing home in Rhode Island. Okay.
Oh, that's like 45 minutes from me. I can go get your money. I'll have it for you in the morning.
No, it's not. Well, it's to take care of my mother. She's got memory problems right now. My sister tricked me into taking care of everything. And what a mistake. What a mistake I made.
Really?
Yeah, my sister's been horrible. I mean, wow, really bad. And I can't even afford to go see my own mother. And we used to talk for at least an hour every single day. I would go live with her for a month, and and she would sing. My mother loves to sing, and she'd sing and make up songs all day long. We'd have so much fun. She's great. And we have kind of a lot of our personalities are very similar. We're both ridiculous people.
Yeah. So. Actually, this is kind of weird. I will have lost my mother 2 years ago in exactly a week. So if anyone that has your mother still, pay attention to her, call her.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I would do anything for 5 more minutes with her. Like
I all my records. Sorry to hear about that, Nick.
Take the record collection. Oh, it happens,
Yeah.
But thank you. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, it once you get to, and it, a lot of my friends are going through it too. It's like, I think it's the, like mid 40s to like 60 or so. That's when it really starts to, happen.
Yeah.
Like, and it sucks, but if you have people around you,
Yeah, it's
some kind of
it's usually when you don't have the things around. It's like when you change
right.
countries, you move, then you realize, oh, now I
Yeah,
miss something I
that's
don't
what
have any
happened when I
longer.
moved to California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from Rhode Island. I knew everybody in Rhode Island. I was connected to everything. Everything was easy. I came out to California knowing one person and fell flat on my face.
Oh, but
Oh boy, what a mess I made. I had a good time though.
no, I'm sure we would have had a good party.
Oh, we would have had a ball. We would have had a ball if we'd known each other when I was back there. Because boy, I could do the stories I have from Rhode Island are just outlandish.
You should
I
write
never
a
run
book
out of
called
stories.
that. The stories I have from Rhode Island.
One time, oh, you'll appreciate this, Arnold. I said it wrong. Sorry.
No worries.
I pretended
Thanks,
to be
Sean.
French
Yeah.
for an entire week.
You
Wait,
can
what?
try.
Did you?
I did an
You
entire
probably
week.
were
I
able
met
to
this.
fool the silly Americans.
Oh yeah, it was this band, and I liked the guy who did the lights, and I just would do crazy things sometimes, and so I pretended that I was French for an entire week, and I had the band over I made some kind of really nice French like tips and beef tips and like some kind of red wine sauce, and I had them over.
Sounds
and I said in
awesome.
my fake French accent, I said, by the way, I have to tell you something. And they looked at me. I said, I'm not French. And they just rolled. They laughed so hard. I had them fooled. I mean, this guy wanted to marry me. Yeah, he wanted to marry me after that.
you know what he would have asked you to do in the bedroom.
Oh yeah, I know.
Do the
My
accent.
lips are sealed.
Yeah, right. That's fun.
Well, he'd already been getting it for a week, so I mean, he knew what he was in for. I'm telling you, I was a pistol when I was younger. I'm gonna be 68 in a few months.
Oh
Oh, yeah?
wow. Wow.
I
Really?
can tell all these stories, and there's no film to bust me.
Yeah, right.
Mm.
Right. Isn't that nuts? Like it, I luckily grew up in the time before, like right before everyone had, was filming everything. Everything
Aren't
is
you
on
grateful?
film today.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah, me too. First of all, I would have been in jail many, 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 many times over.
You and me both.
They had cameras and shit. No, I'm sure all of us would have been in jail on the screen and in the chat, But
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Are you ready to shut down, man? You let us
Yeah.
know.
I will hit the button. I'm just giving a final shout out to a great channel. So I'm just putting the link in the chat. Johnny J's Vinyl Treasure, great radio show on YouTube. So he spins like
I love
all
his
these.
show.
Yeah, I really love 50s, 60s soul.
Yeah.
I think tonight is 50s, late 50s. So
yeah, his 45 collection is ridiculous.
Go there, tune into his show. Tell him that French Vinyl Addict brought to you if you never heard. And so.
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Is it okay if I call you Rom so I don't completely mess up your name?
No worries. I get by Romy or Romu. Yeah, no worries. No worries.
Okay, I don't want to hurt your feelings or insult you in any way, so I figured I better ask.
I'm aware that outside of French-speaking part, I used to work in Switzerland, so I know that it's hard to pronounce. It's a French name. The German have tough time.
I'll try harder. But
no, it's fine. It's fine.
No guarantee. Well, I want to improve my accent. I was serious about that.
Yeah.
At one point, my French accent was perfect, and that was
fly to Sweden, spend a week with your son.
yeah.
You know which son?
I do.
Your son will take you record
we get in trouble.
Yeah.
That'll be nothing but trouble.
Hey, thanks everyone for tuning in.
Dave,
it's a pleasure.
Sean,
thank you, Nick. Thank you, Ruthanne. And,
Thank you
thank
so
you,
much.
man. Thank you very much.
I love
And
you
take care.
guys.
Love you too.
Bye for now.
Later,
Bye.
guys.